My name is David Adébóyè Williams, a blogger of IleOduduwa, The Source. We advocate for anything and everything Yoruba. It is a pleasure to interview Alagba Adégbénró. Alagba Adégbénró is a passionate advocate of the Yoruba language, culture, and tradition. His early childhood shaped his music curiosity, and a timely opportunity enhanced his love for art and the development of his skills in illustration and cartooning. His deep knowledge of the Yoruba language is fully integrated in his music and art. In his own words, Alagba Adégbénró. Thank you.
It's not about being greedy, but don't reveal the whole length of the yam. The life was interesting. As a child, I remember vividly the third and fourth year, all the events that happened, like the wet year, turbulence that happened in the Western region between 1960 and 1963. So I saw some of that. Houses being burnt, taxi drivers dragged out of their vehicle and burnt, and several other things I saw during my youth. But I played on the rocks, went to the streams and the rivers, many of them around me there. So, and I would go from Kobiti, I go to Kobiti, from Kobiti, go over the cobblestones, the small rocks, and go to Itoku by myself at that age. And I was quite interested in growing up in Abeokuta. I know that we have the Ogun River there. When I was at my father's house in Lafenwa, same experience I had, looking at the river and seeing the lights from the other side of the road. The lights all falling in the river, reflecting in the river at night. So it's a wonderful experience. And the stars, the Ogun River, the stars, the Oluma Rock standing there. It was just an incredible sight to see at night. So it was quite a great experience for me. But when I got to Lagos and I started to move around, I started to see different environments. And then I started to explore my artistic direction. So that's how I met one Dele who I knew from Abeokuta. And then I met him again in Ikeja. And he started showing me around, and he showed me his studio where they do sign writing, portrait painting, and all that stuff. And then he showed me that I was still in high school then, but he showed me his master, who was Mr. Olobatui. I met him, simple man, and they showed me all their paintings. They were painting in oils. And in high school, we were not open to oils. We were using tempera paint or something like that, poster colors. So they opened me to oil paint and said, I don't think I can start painting in oil because that even the OIL there frightens me. I believe I wasn't ready for that. But they started to encourage me and said, even we have a master. I said, who's the master? And then they said, Dele Jegede Baba. I said, Dele Jegede, where is he? I've been reading his flower power cartoons in the Daily Times. I said, I need to meet him. Wow. And Dele said, I will take you to his house. Same in Keja.
To be introduced to oil painting, or it just happened?
It just happened.
It just happened.
It just happened.
Because
in Ago, anytime they are doing the fasting period, the fasting season, I will be awake because it's always happening around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's say from 3 till 5:30. So they'll be singing and dancing. The were people, we call them the were, and then they do the were, and then they'll be dancing from street to street, singing about and all that stuff. But they use wonderful drums, like the bembe drum. And the sound was so incredible. I loved the music, but they would not allow me to go. I was so small. They would not allow me to go out there. They'll be doing that, and you can't sleep. And I experienced that. I experienced the Ilorin people who came to live among the Wu area. They bring fowls, guinea fowls, and they bring their blacksmith experiences, and they will do their blacksmithing right there in the neighborhood. And they have their own drummings too.
True. So your environment.
So my environment was
pretty much
enriched
you.
Me
Early
at that
years.
earliest year, from age 3 to 4, 5, before I went to high school. It was my mother my mother's movement that created that for me, because she moved from Abeokuta to work in Lagos as a midwife at Ikeja Textile Mills, and that's how I got to meet, because I was close to her. I loved to stay with her, and that's how I met Dr. J.D. Jegede. And when I saw him,
now could you explain who that is?
Dr.
To
Jegede
some of us.
was he's also an artist, painter, and a cartoonist for the Daily Times newspaper.
Wow. Okay.
Then they came before us, before my generation, so they were already seasoned. Himself and Josie Adébóyè were watching their cartoons, and Kenny Adamson were watching their cartoons, and I was trying to train my strokes to be of that quality, of that high quality, with finesse and crisp and clean and sharp and very professional. So they were like my mentor, and I was looking up to them. And when I saw him in person, I think he was working on a drawing board. And I saw him, and he said, "Come in." And me and Dele, we sat down. But I couldn't sit down, I was just transfixed, because I saw several monochromatic paintings. I think he did one Isheri at night, and it was done in turquoise blue. One color, and it was so fantastic. And I just stood transfixed, because I never even thought about doing a monochromatic painting. And I was just standing there. I said, "Joko," he said, "Sit down." So I sat down. And I felt like I arrived at the palace of the person that's going to mentor me and make sure, because everything I saw there was so professional. Even the portrait of his wife that he did in a monochromatic way, framed, was so fantastic. I was like, I hope I will be able to do this one day. So I kept visiting him constantly. Dr. Dele Jegede was not only my mentor, but he was one of them. The one who actually put the fire under me was Kenny Adamson. staying with him was like torture because he will pressure you, right? But it was for good, because it was training me to be able to think, to be able to visualize and say, okay, the man fell down. So because he fell down, should I draw him falling down? Does that make sense as a visual? A man is carrying somebody heavy on a bicycle. How do you express the bicycle that the bicycle is in pain and pressure, under pressure? How do you draw the bicycle raggedy to show that the person on it is creating that inconvenience? That is visualization. So it started to trigger me to be able to think deeper and harder. When Obasanjo brought out the austerity measures, and then they downsized their vehicle to smaller Peugeot cars from Mercedes-Benz, Kenny Adamson drew Obasanjo carrying a pushcart, right? And then he wrote austerity measure there. That is imaginative, and also it's idiomatic, right?
Okay.
It's an expression. And he doesn't even need to put caption there. The cartoon speaks for itself. So that's how I started my journey. And then from 17-year-old till 10 years later, until 1989, I was working as a cartoonist for Punch and for Concord newspaper, working for IleOduduwa.